Right now on News 3 Live at noon, we are taking in these live images, heartbreaking images to many around the world, as the Notre Dame Cathedral has been burning. It is on fire. We know the famous spire has already collapsed, much of the roof as well. We have the latest on this developing situation.
Coming soon, the U.S. Attorney General announcing when a redacted version of the Mueller report will be released, when the public will be able to see it.
And stern warning, County Commissioner Tick Siggerbloom taking aim at some landlords today. His message for property owners that don't keep up with maintenance in a live report.
News 3 starts right now.
All right, and breaking news that we've been following. If you've been with us here at News 3, you've been watching the special report coming out of Paris, France, the Notre Dame Cathedral on fire. What we know right now is that French prosecutors have begun an official investigation to what happened, what caused this fire. It is still burning as we speak. We know the spire, that iconic spire there on top of the facility, has collapsed. Also, the roof has pretty much collapsed at this point in time as we take in these live images, and a lot of people just really heartbroken over what they're seeing here.
In fact, even people that we work with, some of our coworkers here, in tears watching this happen. I mean, this is a lot of history. It's been around 850 years. That's longer than the United States of America. In fact, when we were listening, there's reports coming out now saying about how people there are also reacting. Thousands of people were actually standing outside, and you see some of them right there in those images watching this happen. In fact, Emmanuel Macron, the president there in France, came out and said, "This is a piece of us."
Yeah.
It's a huge symbol, this Notre Dame Cathedral, and it's happening at one of the worst times too, because Easter is coming up just on Sunday.
It's the Holy Week. You know, the Notre Dame Cathedral, as we were listening, could see upwards of 30,000 people a day. And obviously, during this very holy and symbolic time, even upwards of 50,000 people. So just a very sad scene that's playing out. In fact, I heard one person say, it might have been a French official, I'm not sure, saying that this is like a dagger in the heart of French citizens there. So obviously, there's a lot of work underway also to try to rescue and retrieve a lot of these precious artifacts, Latoya, that have been in place for centuries.
And it could be argued that everything inside of there would fit under that category in the building itself.
Oh,
so many people, as you said, 30,000 visiting a day. They thought as many as 50,000 a day would be visiting this week, because we have Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and then we have Easter culminating on Sunday, celebrating the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And so a lot of people upset, of course, wanting to know, how could this happen? You're looking at the scaffolding there. There was a lot of construction going on. So they're looking at that possibly as being one of the reasons why this went up in flames. But a place like this, so near and dear to so many people, not only in Paris, France, but also all around the world and right here in Las Vegas. Just terrifying. A lot of people, this is one of those bucket list places that they say, I want to see one day in my lifetime.
And so many people here, just in our newsroom and in the studio, you know, a place that they've been, they want to take their families to be able to take in and be a part of history. So it really is a sad scene to see a lot of that history being demolished as we speak in front of us, and really a valiant effort among firefighters there to try to get a hold of this fire. Again, we're taking a look at live pictures. This broke out a little more than an hour and a half ago, give or take. And so we do know, as we mentioned, that the spire has come down. Much of the roof has collapsed.
And we saw that happening live.
Yeah, we did see that happen live. And a French official saying that everything is burning, nothing will remain from the frame. So we know that much of that interior is wooden. And so that's feeding a lot of the flames that we're seeing that are there and just taking over the building as we speak. But we're going to continue to dip in on this breaking news story, one that is capturing the attention of people around the world. No doubt about that. So if you want to continue to stay on top of the breaking news as we continue to cover it, if you're not watching us on air, you can always catch us online or on your phone through your app. Just go to the App Store and download News 3 LV.
All right, well, thank you for joining us here at noon. We have some other news to talk about as well right here at home. The Mueller report expected to be made public on Thursday, and the Justice Department says that Attorney General Bill Barr will actually release Special Counsel Robert Mueller's redacted report. Yeah, so we're expecting that to come out Thursday morning. The nearly 400-page report centers on the investigation into possible collusion between President Trump's election campaign and Russia. So last month, Barr released a summary of Mueller's principal conclusions, which state the investigation did not establish a criminal conspiracy. Many Democrats are pushing to see an unredacted copy of the 400-page report.
The second suspect has been arrested in connection to the murder of a California doctor, and now we're seeing the mugshots of those suspects. Kelsey Turner, brought back to Las Vegas over the weekend to face charges in the death of 71-year-old Thomas Burchard. Her roommate, Diana Pena, has also been arrested. The two are accused of killing Burchard, who had been paying rent on a Las Vegas home that the two reportedly lived in, along with Turner's boyfriend. Now, Turner's boyfriend remains on the run, and they're looking for him. Pena will face a judge tomorrow morning.
A county commissioner is calling out landlords of crumbling properties to fix them or pay up.
Yeah, our Faith Jesse is live near one of those neighborhoods near Flamingo and Paradise with more on the crackdown underway. Faith?
Hey, Crystal. So the county requires landlords, when they want to come in and build a building, to keep them up to standard, similar to the building right here behind me. But unfortunately, a lot of landlords, specifically in this area, have dropped the ball, and their buildings are looking a lot more like this one. It looks abandoned, but there are people paying rent and living inside of this building. County Commissioner Tick Segerblum says this is absolutely unacceptable, and that is why he is cracking down. These conditions were addressed this morning during a press conference. Burned buildings, boarded up windows, and broken glass. Like I said, some people paying rent to live here. And this is what the county commissioner says he's had enough of: landlords pocketing the rent money and not maintaining their properties. So he announced that the county will be cracking down. Segerblum warned landlords have a couple of weeks to act on the issues, or the county is coming in to fix them, and the landlords will be facing a hefty bill. Last year, the county abated 275 properties at a cost of $438,000. Since October, the county has been issuing about 70 citations per month for violation issues. Commissioner Segerblum says all people of Clark County deserve decent living conditions.
Within 2 weeks, if they don't start fixing this up, we're going to come in and fix it up for them and then send them the bill. So that's our power. We have an ordinance. We're working on strengthening it.
The county says that each year they receive about 20,000 complaints of violations. So County Commissioner Segerblum says that he's hoping this push and this warning will get landlords, many of which don't even live in the state, up and ready to fix it. If not, he could put a lien on their property and make them pay. Faith Jesse reporting, News 3.
All right, thanks so much, Faith Jesse. News 3, of course, your weather authority. We're going to check in now with Kelly for what our Monday is shaping up to be.
Yeah, and we've been seeing quite a few clouds in the area. We have another weather maker on the way. We're starting to see a little bit of a breeze out there. You can see the trees kind of dancing a little bit. This is the Las Vegas Day School camera. So Charlotte Hill Elementary School, winds south-southwest at 12, gusts to 26. Temperatures right now in the mid-70s. Same for Doris Reed Elementary School, where we've had gusts to 28 miles per hour. These winds out of the southwest, but they're going to continue to build here. So we're talking about 15 to 25 mile per hour sustained winds with gusts up to 35 miles per hour as we head throughout the rest of the afternoon and into the evening hours. And behind this, we actually have chances for rain in the forecast. We're going to talk more about those in 10 minutes.
Okay, appreciate that, Kelly. Coming up, they're calling it a medical milestone.
Yeah, the first ever complete 3D heart is one using a printer. We're going to show you the team behind it and if it can be used in humans.
Plus, the iconic Boston Marathon held today, marking 6 years since the bombing. In fact, it's the first time that it's actually happening on the same day as that bombing happened 6 years ago. The rundown of the winners and some firsts for some of them.
And back now to this live picture of the Notre Dame Cathedral that is still on fire. We just got word that one of the rectangular towers there is on fire. So we're getting more bad news coming out of there. And of course, so many people heartbroken as they see this scene play out. We all saw that spire, that famous spire, go down live. Many people now wondering why this iconic cathedral is in fact on fire. We'll continue to follow this and have more as News 3 Live at Noon continues.
President Trump reacting to the images playing out live on your screen right now. In case you're just joining us at 12:12, it's a little after 9 o'clock in Paris, France, where the Notre Dame Cathedral has been on fire, really burning for the better part of 2 hours. As we take in these live images, you have leaders from around the world that are reacting to this. The latest news is that one of the rectangular towers has just fallen. We saw the spire fall on live TV. Much of the roof has collapsed. It's on fire, excuse me. So let's go ahead and correct that. But obviously the news not good coming out of Paris, France. Let's go to President Trump tweeting about it. So horrible to watch the massive fire at the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. Perhaps flying water tankers could be used to put it out. Must act quickly. So again, a breaking news story that we'll continue to follow. But let's go ahead and get some other news. And for that, let's go ahead and turn over to LaToya.
Israeli researchers are calling it a major breakthrough, the actual first complete heart created with a 3D printer. Now, scientists at Tel Aviv University today showed off their creation, and they say it is a big advance in engineering replacements for diseased human hearts. This is the first 3D printed heart with blood vessels. It takes about 3 hours to print using current technology. The team succeeded in printing 3D rabbit-sized hearts, but the university professor says the printed hearts can currently contract, but still need to learn more about, quote, how they behave like hearts before they can create them in a human size.
Wow, incredible technology. Okay, we have new research out today that says children are more likely to have diabetes if their mothers develop the disease during their pregnancy. So in this study, children whose mothers had gestational diabetes were nearly twice as likely to develop the disease themselves. This is compared to the kids born to mothers who did not have diabetes. Scientists say the increased risk was found in kids from birth to age 22. The number of measles cases in the U.S. this year is at the second highest level in 25 years. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is reporting 90 new cases of the measles in the U.S., so that brings the number of cases this year to 555. The World Health Organization is also reporting that 110,000 measles cases were reported worldwide this year, January to March, and that's an increase of nearly 300% from the same period last year.
Today marks 6 years since the bombing in Boston at the marathon. On April 15, 2013, 2 bombs near that finish line exploded in quick succession. You see one of them going off there, killing 3 people and injuring at least 264 others. The attack was blamed on brothers Tamerlan and Dzhokhar Tsarnaev from Kyrgyzstan. Now, Tamerlan was killed during a shootout with police, and Dzhokhar actually killed 1 officer before he was eventually captured after a separate shootout with police. Meanwhile, for the first time, the Boston Marathon is being held on the anniversary of the bombing. The male Boston Marathon first place finisher today was Lawrence Cherono from Kenya with a time of 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 57 seconds. That's half the time of most people.
Wow.
And 4 hours is if you're a really good runner. This is his first World Marathon major win. Now, the female Boston Marathon first place finisher was Worknesh Najayev from Ethiopia with a time of 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 30 seconds. Congratulations to her as well. This is her first World Marathon major win, and you can only laugh because it's like, how are they doing
How in the
this?
world do they do that?
It's amazing.
Because you've run half marathons, so you know.
And
like-
about the time it took them to run a full. And
Oh,
you saw
my goodness.
The wheelchair also. They have the wheelchair races, and men's first place
okay.
finisher was Daniel Romachoff of the U.S. So we had an American in
awesome.
there with a time of
Yay.
1 hour, 21 minutes, and 36 seconds. The wheelchair first place finisher for the women, Manuela Scarf, Switzerland, with a time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 19 seconds. And this was her second win for
Wow.
Boston. I think it really says a lot that they said, you know what, we're not going to let this day be one where
Absolutely
we just
not.
talk about the bad things that
Yes.
happen. We're going to show people how resilient we are. We're going to run this race on the day when this horrible tragedy happened. And I won't forget it. I was working and anchoring at the time when we broke through and said, oh my gosh, this happened here in
Yeah.
Boston. And marathons are one of those places you think are safe, and we're quickly learning that no place is safe.
No place is safe. But as you mentioned, it is a testament to their resilience. And congratulations to all those
Yeah.
athletes. Incredible. And they
Yeah.
were running in inclement weather, mind you, not the best weather to be running in. So kudos to them for doing such a great job, right? All right, let's go ahead and, well, we'll go to weather. That's a nice little segue then.
Yeah.
How Lindsay bring you into the conversation?
Cloudy and rainy and dreary out there. We've got breezes here. That's what we are dealing with, but we may see some rain as well, especially as we get into tomorrow. So first, I want to take a look at the pollen numbers because they just came in for today. High levels of pollen for trees and weeds, moderate levels for grasses, low for mold. So mulberry, olive, ragweed, those are some of the biggest culprits for your sniffles at the moment. Now, as far as what we're seeing on the live cameras here. This is a time lapse from the Bob Miller Middle School camera. Quite a few clouds out there today. We've seen a few breaks in those clouds, a little bit of blue peeking through from time to time, but the winds are continuing to increase. So temperatures are pretty mild. Spring Valley, you're coming in at 75 degrees, Sunrise Manor 78, Aliante 75. Winds though out of the southwest, lakes 16 miles per hour, gusts up to about 30 miles per hour in the Las Vegas Valley right now. Spring Valley and lakes both seeing gusts to about 28 miles per hour. These winds, we could see gusts as high as 35 as we head throughout the rest of the afternoon. Windy conditions expected to continue through the overnight hours as well. So why? Well, we're dealing with this pretty big weather maker that's working its way through the region. We're seeing a lot more cloud cover to the north. We have chances for showers today too for parts of northern Nye, northern Lincoln counties. For us, we're going to see those waves of clouds and again the breezy conditions. Here's Futurecast. So this is how we're expecting it to play out as we head throughout the rest of the day. Again, precip going to stay to our north, northern Nye, northern Lincoln counties. You get into the overnight, it starts creeping a little bit further south. So now we're going to get into the rest of Lincoln County, central Nye County, and then by tomorrow morning, it starts to creep its way into Clark County. So Las Vegas, we could start seeing this right around lunchtime. That'll probably be the chance we'll start seeing a few of those showers working their way in. You notice a lot of active weather here in Lincoln County, and then this is going to continue on and off throughout the afternoon and into the early evening hours. Now, in addition to those rain chances, we're still going to be dealing with some breezes, and there's even a slight chance that we could hear some rumbles of thunder out of this system tomorrow. Now, it will clear out Tuesday night. By the time we get into Wednesday, we are back to full sunshine. Temperatures are going to be a bit of a story here as well. So 83 today, above normal. Again, winds southwest gusting to 35 miles per hour. Tonight, still breezy, 59 for the low. Now, check out the 7-day forecast. So we're going from 83 today to 67 tomorrow. That chance for showers and thunderstorms, then right back up to upper 70s for Wednesday, and then flirting with 90s by the end of the week, mid 80s for Easter Sunday.
Wow, that's what you call a really good forecast, Kelly.
I'm telling you.
Thanks.
Get on the roller coaster because it's going
Exactly.
to be a ride, right?
Yeah, so no excuses. You got to get your taxes done.
Yes.
Most of you probably know this already, but the deadline is today.
Yes, coming up as you get ready to pay your taxes or hopefully get a refund. There are some freebies you can take advantage of. We have a little list headed your way.
And we want to make sure that you're aware that you can get all of your news highlights from News 3 and the CW Las Vegas on Amazon's Echo devices. Just search News 3 Las Vegas under the Flash Briefing tab inside Settings in the Alexa app. Once selected, just ask her, hey, what's my Flash Briefing? We update it all the time.
All right, and we're going back out to those live pictures out of Paris, France. We see that night has fallen. It's a little after 9 o'clock, 9:20 to be exact. We just got word that French President Emmanuel Macron is at the scene of this devastating fire, heading into meetings with Paris police. And as we told you, French prosecutors have begun an official investigation into what caused this fire. A lot more ahead on this developing story as we take in these live pictures out of Paris, France.
We continue to follow this breaking news out of Paris, France right now. The Notre Dame Cathedral actually on fire. So many people heartbroken by this. We do know that Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, is there at the scene at the Notre Dame there watching this all play out. He tweeted earlier about just how heartbreaking this is, and he said that this cathedral is actually a part of this community here. So we'll continue to follow it. It's still on fire. It's been burning for several hours now, and authorities there, the police there in Paris, trying to figure out what caused this fire. And of course, again, a lot of people just heartbroken watching this play out live on their television screens.
And Latoya, you can imagine the people who have been there, you know, what it's like to see it go up in flames, but people like us who have never gone.
Well, one of our directors, in fact, had been there. She said she'll never forget that moment when she was 16 and saw it. Amanda said she saw this beautiful building and thought, oh my gosh, I can't explain this. I could never describe it. I want to bring my family here. And sadly, that hasn't happened yet. And so her family won't get to see and experience it as much as she did. We're hoping that they'll, of course, rebuild, but it'll never be the same, at least not the one that everyone has grown to love over the last 850 years.
13th century, that's how far it dates back. It survives wars, revolutions, also social upheaval, but it has succumbed to these flames. So we'll continue to follow that developing story.
Now to this story that people probably don't want to talk about as well.
Right.
It's tax day, so don't fret. We do have some silver linings to tell you about. You can actually cash in on some great freebies and some specials and discounts happening today.
Yeah, a lot of businesses around the country are offering rewards to weary taxpayers, especially if you're going to have to owe a little bit. Among the deals today, Burgers Bagels has a big bag bundle. That's 13 bagels for just $10.40. At Boston Market, score with a tax day meal for $10.40. Get it? $10.40. That includes the half chicken with 2 sides, cornbread, and a regular fountain drink. That's quite a bit of food. We also have a list of all the freebies on our website, news3lv.com. So even if you don't think you're going to get a nice little something from Uncle Sam, you can get a little treat today.
And then just know that it's over with. I got mine in last week. I know you did yours in
Yes.
February. I got to stop doing it the last minute.
But at least we're good. Hopefully
Exactly.
you are too.
However, we're back with more, including a live interview with the House of Blues. Right now, News 3 live at 12:30. Trapped at home, a woman rides out a weekend storm and is now trapped inside. Hear from her shocked family members who came to help coming up.
Letters for Pyro. The K-9 officer stabbed in the line of duty, and one woman says she just had to step in to help. More on the campaign she started to help the K-9 get a little comfort as he recovers.
And the House of Blues Gospel Brunch has some special plans for Easter. We're going to give you a little taste test of what to expect coming up.
News 3 starts right now.
All right, breaking news. One of the world's most famous, well-known cathedrals on fire, the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, France. And we just got word that now it's being treated as a national emergency, and for good reason, because this is one of the iconic cathedrals, not only in Paris, France, but around the world. So many people flocking to it. In fact, 30,000 visitors a day. This is, of course, happening during Holy Week. Easter is just upon us in a couple of days. So many people heartbroken. What we can tell you right now is they still don't know the cause of what happened here, but it could be linked to the construction that's actually going on at that site. It's undergoing some major renovation. And last year, the Catholic Church in France launched an appeal for funds to actually help save the cathedral.
Yeah, fire crews have been setting up boundaries along the building. We watched it live play out as that iconic spire just crashed down. There you see it happening right now. The roof has collapsed. Unbelievably, no reports of any injuries at this point in time. And listening to some of the reports, usually they wrap up around 6:45, give or take. Well, it started around 7 o'clock and it's been burning for about 2.5 hours, give or take. As we take in these live images, it's 9:31 Paris time there. We do know that the president, Emmanuel Macron, has arrived at the scene. This dates back to the 13th century. This building itself older than our country, and it's been incredible to hear, well, really heartbreaking to hear some of the personal stories of people that have gone to this famous site. I mean, it really is a piece of Paris. I heard one person say it's like a dagger in the heart of Paris, watching this cathedral go up in flames. So this is definitely a breaking news story that we will continue to follow here on News 3. I mean, we're not on air, we're also online. You can download our app at the App Store, News 3 LV, and you will not miss out.
And thank you for joining us here at 12:30. You know, high winds are causing some major issues in parts of North Carolina. Trees were knocked down along with power lines.
Got a lot of people without power there in those communities. One homeowner ended up trapped inside of her home after a tree landed on her house. A lot of this inclement weather, dangerous, deadly weather that unfolded in parts of the South and Southeast. Sinclair correspondent Lauren Brigman has more on the destruction and death the storm caused.
She's in shock. I mean, this is pretty traumatic for anybody.
An eye-opening scene along White Pine Drive in Henderson County. Firefighters rushing to help free the woman inside, trapped by tree branches.
The way it damaged the house, she couldn't get out of the doors.
Shaken up, but fortunately making it out without injury. Even family members arriving to help.
How thankful are you, though, that she's okay? She could have gotten really hurt here.
Yeah, I don't think that's set in yet with any of us.
Are in awe of how she escaped unscathed.
She had just got home from work, and then the tree came down, and it just was shocking.
But the house, on the other hand, is in shambles.
It's definitely sustained heavy damage. The roofing system, 3 or 4 of the rooms inside the house have partially collapsed, as well as it seems to have shifted the whole home on the foundation.
And the storms making this a familiar scene for emergency crews.
Lots of trees down, power lines, as well as some trees on houses.
Strong winds toppled this tree on Oakdale Drive in Hendersonville. Another close call where the residents made it out safely. Families counting their blessings now.
For it to be happening at this time in her life, our mother is in hospice care. We just lost an aunt.
As storms in their own lives put things into perspective.
And so we're going to try to rally around her like family's supposed to do, and we're going to try to calm her down.
Our thoughts with people there dealing with that mess.
Yes, absolutely. And obviously, in light of that situation, we've had some people, unfortunately, who have lost their lives, Kelly.
Yeah, very sad situation out there with those storms. Now, here at home, we're not seeing anything like that, but our winds are picking up a little bit. So this is the Lake Mead Marina camera. The camera shakes a little bit. You can see some of the boats there wiggling in their slips as these winds continue to pick up. So right now, Manuel Cortez Elementary School, we're at 77 degrees, winds out of the south at 11 miles per hour with gusts to 27 and 28-mile-per-hour gusts being reported at Twitchell Elementary School. That's Green Valley Parkway in the 215. Look at the temperature there too, 80 degrees. So it is going to be warm today. It's going to be breezy. So we're expecting these winds 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusts to 35. That's below advisory criteria, but still a nuisance breeze out there. We do, however, have rain and maybe even some thunderstorms on the way. We're going to talk more about those in 10 minutes.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks so much, Kelly. Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar says that she's receiving more death threats since a tweet from President Trump. That tweet from Friday was about a speech that she gave last month where she described the 9/11 attacks as, quote, someone did something. The president's tweet included clips from her speech with the words, "We will never forget," with pictures of the Twin Towers burning. In a statement Sunday, Omar accused the president of encouraging right-wing extremists to commit violence. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders on Sunday denied President Trump was encouraging violence. Well, this brings us to our question of the day. What's your reaction to Congresswoman Omar's comments about 9/11? Are they appropriate or inappropriate, but she shouldn't apologize? Were they inappropriate and she should actually apologize? We want to hear from you. Her comments are fine. Perhaps you think that. Just head on over to news3live.lv.com/question. A memorial growing inside the Mall of America after a child is thrown from the third-floor balcony there. Witnesses say a woman screamed that someone threw her child Friday morning. According to police, the victim, just 5 years old, suffered life-threatening injuries after falling nearly 40 feet. That child is currently in the hospital. His condition not known.
We do not believe that the suspect knew the family or the victim. Our investigative work and witnesses that we've spoken to, we feel confident saying that the suspect threw the child off of the third floor. But as to why he did that is still something we're looking into and trying to figure out.
So 24-year-old suspect Emmanuel Deshawn Aranda tried to get away, but has since been arrested and charged with attempted homicide. Police also say that he has a violent history out of Chicago. A GoFundMe page set up to help the boy and his family out. It's already raised nearly $300,000. Just unbelievable that someone would do that to a child.
It really is.
Well, people in Green Bay and across the country are doing their part to help a police dog stabbed 3 times. Happened in the dog's neck last week.
Yeah, reporter Kia Murray looks at how one woman is doing her part to help.
When one Green Bay woman found out K-9 officer Pyro would be headed for surgery, she knew she wanted to do something.
I felt like we had potentially lost a local officer. I think what they do is immeasurable for our community.
Corinda Jennings owns a German Shepherd herself and wanted to give the community an opportunity to help Officer Pyro, even if they can't donate.
I basically just made the Facebook event called Letters for Pyro, and I just shared it with all my friends.
Letters for Pyro is a public event on social media and encourages people to drop off letters, treats, and toys at the Green Bay Police Station.
And I wanted to be able to do something to kind of lift his spirits.
Jennings says that effort is reaching people nationwide.
Illinois, Colorado, California, a bunch of different places across the country that are actually sending in stuff.
Regardless of how big or small, Jennings says anyone can lend a helping hand.
I think people get stuck in the, I'm just one person, I can't make a difference, but you really can, and every single person can do even just a little bit to help.
As for Pyro, he's recovering from his injuries after being stabbed in the neck 3 times, responding to a call last week.
It's been really nice to have the outreach of compassion for him.
Green Bay Police Chief Andrew Smith says even though officers are cautiously optimistic, Pyro has a long way to go.
It's truly like having a family member that was gravely injured. So we're all very happy that things are progressing in a positive direction.
Oh, prayers for Pyro.
I know, bless
Poor
his little
thing.
heart.
Well, the House of Blues Gospel Brunch, I feel like we need this.
We need an uplift,
We need a
don't
pick-me-up.
we?
They have some
Yes.
special plans for Easter to tell you about.
That's right. We're going to try to put a smile on your face. You've had some heavy stuff today. Hey, it's always good when you can have some good food, right?
Amen to that. And an announcement over the weekend could cause a disturbance in the force. We're going to explain coming up.
And News 3 is proud to sponsor with AlertNest. It's a free resource that connects you with neighbors and police to simplify safety and build a stronger community. To see more about it, sign up today at alertnest.com.
And also a live look here at Paris, France at the Notre Dame Cathedral on fire still for more than two and a half hours. In fact, we're going to hear more in a special report coming up at 1 p.m. right here on News 3. All right, the House of Blues Gospel Brunch has some very special plans for Easter. In fact, we were just reminiscing about our grandmas and how they make the very food that they serve there at the House of Blues. But before we get to the food, because we know that's important, we're going to talk a little bit about the music. In fact, joining us now is from the House of Blues, Joanna Phillips, and also the executive chef there, Charles Miller. So we'll start with you. Let's go ahead and talk about just the tradition here of going to the House of Blues and how long you guys have been around.
Yeah, well, we've been around for 25 years, and we've done Gospel Brunch every Sunday since then. We do 2 shows every Sunday, 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock. It's always an amazing choir, just super energetic and always a good time.
Yeah, a lot of people probably coming right after church or perhaps even before church.
Yes.
And the music, the music can't be beat. We're seeing some people really rocking out to the music there. Tell us why that is a touchstone for folks, especially on a Sunday.
It really does draw in everything about House of Blues. It's about the atmosphere and the family and the friends, and it's just a great time, and it's a great music and experience, and it's a little bit of everything. So you get everything that you can possibly think of from House of Blues.
And you can see there, like you said, it's the whole thing for the family. On a Sunday, you can take the whole family there. Not too many shows that you can say that about on the Strip. So if you have something you're thinking, oh, we want to take the kids out, certainly this will be something. And Easter, a big time for you guys.
Yes, always. Again, 2 shows, 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock. We do add a little something special. We have a little Easter bunny that comes and hangs out with us too. And great, as you said, for all ages, whole families, from kids to grandparents, everything.
All right, and Charles, we got to talk about this food. This is like the food that I grew up eating, and I still eat too much of. Tell us about some of these classics you have.
Well, classic, we got to start with the brisket, smoked overnight, super tender. Chicken and waffles, collard greens, a little bit of bacon. Can't forget biscuits and gravy. And what's a buffet without shrimp?
You got to have shrimp.
You got to have the shrimp.
Yeah, I want to delve right into this brisket because,
Yes.
Not everyone can make a good brisket. Tell us why your brisket is so special.
Let's see, we rub it for 24 hours ahead of time and then smoke it overnight. Takes about 14 hours around in there.
Yeah, made
depends.
with love. Yes. And then, of course, chicken and waffles. If you hadn't have
can't go
chicken and
wrong.
waffles, you can't go wrong with it. I know it might seem weird to people who are uninitiated because you have the chicken and then you have the sweet with the waffle, but tell us why this works so well together.
Well, it's the sweet and the spicy. I like to put a little hot sauce on it too. So you kind of get all the flavors going on. Just explodes in your mouth.
Oh, it's so good. And then, of course, the collard greens. They're showing your biscuits and gravy. That looks like cake to me with some gravy on top of it. Tell us about that.
We make biscuits in-house. Gravy has 3 different meats, ham, sausage, and bacon.
Okay, I'm getting so hungry right now. And my favorite greens, I don't know what you all do to it, but I cannot duplicate it. I try to make it even how my mother makes it. You say you use bacon in yours?
A little bit of bacon, yeah.
Yeah, that's the secret. But you still, hey, forget all that. It takes too long. Who has 14 hours to make the brisket, right? Just go to House of Blues and it's all there for you. And then you get the gospel music as well.
Yep.
And so it's just a twofer. You get the food, you get the music. This, of course, happening every Sunday from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the House of Blues right there in Las Vegas. You see the cost. For the whole family, a good time, especially on this Easter. They're expecting a lot of people to come out. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So much fun. And again, you made me super, super hungry, Crystal.
I know, like my mouth is salivating over here. And shout out to Patty Pennington, who came on the show earlier. Incredible singer, so they know how to get down too with the singing over there. That's why they call it the world famous gospel brunch. Okay, Star Wars behind me here. A Star Wars celebration fan convention taking place in Chicago over the weekend. And there may have been a great disturbance in the force after an announcement. Rick Demigella has the details.
in this Hollywood, well, let's just call it Star Wars minute.
We've passed on all we know.
Star Wars movies are taking a pause. Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy told USA Today at Star Wars Celebration Chicago that following the December 20th release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, the film franchise will go on a planned hiatus, with no new movies being announced for the time being.
The galaxy's changed.
The force is strong with the video game side of Star Wars. EA has announced a release date for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. The video game following a young Jedi Padawan will be available to play on PC, Xbox One, and PS4 on November 15th.
In a moment, the Lord of this monolith will give you a task.
If you prefer your Star Wars game experience to be more immersive, here's a first look at Vader Immortal, a Star Wars VR series. The Verge reports the first episode of the interactive adventure will feature a story lasting approximately an hour and a lightsaber dojo mode. Episode 1 of Vader Immortal for the Oculus Rift and Oculus Quest devices is scheduled to release later this year. From a galaxy far, far away, I'm Rick Damigella.
All right, coming up on 12:48 now on this Monday afternoon, we're going to take a look at the pollen counts to get things started. So these numbers just coming in to us. We've got high level of pollens for trees and weeds, moderate for grasses. So mulberry, olive, ragweed, those are some of the biggest culprits right now. I know a lot of people dealing with these, battling these allergies. Now, the MacLyon Middle School time lapse, what we've seen so far today, you see the trees dancing there a little bit. We've been seeing a little bit of a breeze, and we're going to continue to see that as we head throughout the afternoon. Temperatures, so mild. 72 degrees in Pahrump right now. Overton, you're at 82. Laughlin's coming in at 87 degrees. And those wind gusts, so Pahrump gusts to 23 miles per hour. Panaca gusts to about 25 and 27 mile per hour gusts being reported right now in Boulder City. Mid and upper 70s for current temperatures here in the Las Vegas Valley. Low 80s out in the southeast neighborhood. Temperatures will be climbing into the low 80s today. It will, though, be a little bit on the breezy side. So right now, seeing those gusts up to about 30 miles per hour in Las Vegas. We could see gusts as high as 35 as we head throughout the rest of the day today. So here's a look at the satellite radar composite. So quite a few clouds in our area. Still waiting for this next weather maker, though, to drop in. There is a chance for showers further to our north today and tonight. We could see some wet weather, though, tomorrow. And here's Futurecast and how this is all expected to play out. So tonight, or through afternoon and tonight, chances for showers, northern Nye and northern Lincoln counties. That sinks a little bit further south overnight, central Nye, the rest of Lincoln County, and then it starts working its way into Clark County tomorrow morning. So by that lunch hour, we could see some showers here in the Las Vegas Valley. Those are going to continue in the area through the afternoon into the early evening. They'll start breaking up and exiting the area. Then plenty of sunshine heading into Wednesday. Temperatures are going to be a bit of a roller coaster ride though this week. Pahrump 80 degrees, that's your forecast high. Today, Overton 86. Again, partly sunny skies. We're still dealing with a little bit of a breeze out there. Tonight, still breezy, mostly cloudy. Sandy Valley 53 for your low. Mesquite, you're going to go down to about 57. And now that's 7-day forecast. So like I said, today, low 80s in Las Vegas. Upper 60s tomorrow. Talk about a jump here. Breezy conditions, chances for rain, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder. Wednesday back up into the upper 70s, then upper 80s. By the time we get into Friday and Saturday, might see a little bit of a breeze for Sunday for Easter, but temperatures will be in the mid 80s.
A little something for everyone.
I know, right? All right, Kelly, we'll take it. I guess we don't have a choice, do we? All right, we take you now to Brazil for a crazy car race. It happened yesterday. Creatively designed cars took off down a ramp to navigate an obstacle course using only gravity to propel them. The crazy cars designed with themes like Egyptian mummies, a takeout food container, an inflatable unicorn, and a tire filled with mosquitoes. So not fun. Race participants were narrowed down to the 70 most creative participants, and the event is sponsored by an energy drink. Look at that.
I know. Of course, we'll be right back. Stay with us. All right, back to the breaking news that we've been following for several hours now. Out of Paris, one of the world's most well-known cathedrals on fire still at this hour, the Notre Cathedral in Paris, France. In fact, we just got word from the French Interior Ministries saying that firefighters might not be able to save this iconic building that's been around for 850 years, a place of worship and a symbol of Christianity there for not only Catholics there. in Paris, France, but also for Christians all around the world. And the Vatican even coming out saying just how it is heartbroken that this has happened and, quote, devastated by this happening here in Paris. And of course, it comes at just the most horrible time. This is Holy Week and Easter coming up on Sunday.
And we're also expecting a special report right after this news class around 1 p.m. if you want to continue to follow the coverage there. So just a really devastating situation that we're reporting on out of Paris, France. All right. Let's also talk about what's happening. Well, let's mention this. As soon as those breaking news alerts come out with regard to this story or any other news story we're following, you can get it right to your smartphone or tablet. Simply download our app, News 3 LV, at the App Store.
And coming up this afternoon on Dateline at 2 o'clock here on Channel 3, a top doctor known for saving lives found himself fighting for his own after he was poisoned. Cops immediately started looking into the women in his life and covering more than one relationship. So investigators wanted to know, was one of them toxic? That's coming up at 2 o'clock today, followed by News 3 Live at 3.
And here's what we're working on for News 3 Live at 3 today. A class project upsetting a lot of parents. What a gym teacher ordered certain students to take part in, and it has school officials investigating.
Plus, a gas situation, or a gas station worker rather, jumps into action after seeing a customer choking. Her heroic actions, all caught on camera too. We'll have those stories and more coming up on News 3 Live at 3.
Oh, this is a cute one. Firefighters in Southern California, they worked the day to save more than a dozen ducklings who were stuck in a storm drain. Someone found them on Sunday. The mama duck was nearby, but mama duck flew away. So the firefighters used a scoop bucket to get the little ducklings out. No one knows how long they were there. Animal Control says that without a mother, the ducklings will be fostered out. The ducklings are out of animals. Look at them.
Oh,
cute.
Precious. How could she fly away?
I know,
Come on,
Mama, come on. Does this remind you of when you were in school and we had a science project where we were watching little chicks, hatch?
And they had the incubator.
I know, that's what it reminds you
Cool.
of. It's just so sweet. So good news that they're okay. All right, your 7-day forecast.
The
Buckle up and ride.
Yeah, right? It's definitely going to be a little bit breezy out there today. Chances for showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder tomorrow. Big difference in temperatures. Low 80s, upper 60s, then back to upper 80s by the end of the week. So yeah, quite the roller coaster
And
ride
of course,
for us
the biggest news of the day, what's happening at the Notre Dame
sad.
Cathedral in Paris, France. You're looking at live pictures, and of course, NBC will break through here at 1 o'clock with a special report. Of course, our thoughts and prayers with everyone who is just heartbroken over this devastating news.